we meet again in another car vlog, and I'm into this series, What Makes America Great. And perhaps if you wonder, I'm not a Trump supporter, because MEGA is the motto of the former president, Make America Great Again. My series of talks have nothing to do with that. I'm not a pro-Trump. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm fairly neutral. In American politics, everyone has their choices, and American voters, they've decided Joe Biden to be their president, and he won more than 7 million votes, more than Donald Trump. In fact, as an aside, before I go into the third point, what makes America great again, as an aside, a good friend, he texted me about what I thought about the American presidential election. I think just a week before the November 2020 election. And what I saw, I follow Trump's rallies, quite a few of his rallies, his YMCA tunes and so on. It seems quite fun in a way, but he did that in the midst of the height of the pandemic. Tens of thousands of people were infected daily in the United States. So I thought that was the turning point in American politics, because I don't think Americans are so foolish. And I told my friend, I said, who do you think will win? As a Christian, I like Trump's conservative policies. Not all of them, but most of them, in a way, I can say, as a conservative myself. But when he doesn't wear a mask, so I told my friend, I said, he will lose many votes by not wearing a mask. Everywhere in the world, and in Malaysia, I think we've been wearing masks since March of 2020. And you can see the big crowds. Hardly anyone wore masks in Trump's rallies. So I thought he would lose, because Americans are not stupid. So that's it. But I want to speak about now the third point. Why I think America is the greatest nation on earth in terms of economic power and also military power. The third point would be the freedom of religion. It is enshrined in the American Constitution, the freedom of religion, even in Malaysia's federal constitution. We also have a very important clause or provision in our constitution. Anyone 18 and above is free to choose his or her religion. Although in our system, because Islam being the religion of the Federation, it is not so easy for Malays to not become Muslims. But that is another topic for another time. But in America, the freedom of religion is really protected in most states. Obviously, some states have greater freedom, or they don't favor one religion over the other. There is this separation between the state and the church in America, and I think that really makes America great, because we cannot judge people on the basis of their private beliefs. their faith, their religion. Although as a Christian, I am in fact thrilled to know that America perhaps is still the most Christian nation on earth, because they are close to 30%. Maybe the numbers are dwindling, which means decreasing by the year, really. During the height of revivals in the early 20th century, I think first Methodism, John Wesley and his fellow bishops. There was one very famous bishop that went to America to evangelize the Americans. I forgot his name, but what a shame. But and then you have Jonathan Edwards and a number of famous preachers, the Great Awakening, the Revivals, Charles Finley, and a number of very famous preachers until Billy Graham in the 20th century. Freedom of religion is what makes America great, because if one is respected, irrespective of what religion he or she holds, and his job's prospects are equal, no matter whether he's a Christian, Muslim, a Sikh, or some other religions, then he will work his best based on his merits, his qualifications and experience. And there's a very liberating force. There is no fear or consequence of one's belief, like in actually many countries, including those countries that have freedom of religion enshrined in their constitution. Sometimes it's not as simple as it looks, even within a written constitution, like in Malaysia. And in America, it is great because they really try to preserve this idea of the freedom of religion. But because the majority of Americans, you plus the mainstream churches and Roman Catholics, I would say, I just mentioned that evangelicals or so-called born-again Christians, you have 30%. So if you plus the mainstream and Roman Catholics, easily you have close to 60% of Americans that would, if there is a census form, they would tick under the box Christian or Christianity as their religion. But they're now a large segment of society that do not list any religion. They are not religious. Significant community of Jewish people, or the Jews in America, and Muslims and Hindus and other religions, but smaller minorities that make up America. And perhaps I end this car vlog by just mentioning the influence of religion, or the basis, the freedom of religion, the makeup of the Supreme Court of the United States of America, or in short, the SCOTUS. SCOTUS. The makeup of the Supreme Court is very interesting. In fact, although evangelicals, like for example, Southern Baptists claim to have close to 20 million members, really one of the largest denominations, not just in America, but in the world. 20 million members, Southern Baptists in the States. But the evangelicals' influence in the makeup, these 9 Supreme Court justices, are very minimal. I think there's only one non-Catholic justice, Neil Gorsuch, if I'm not mistaken. I think 4 or 5 are Roman Catholics, including the Chief Justice, and 3 are Jews. So that's the makeup of the American Supreme Court. Obviously, so far there's no Muslim or Hindu as a Supreme Court justice, but I guess the day will come. So that's it for this series of vlog, that what makes America great. The respect of the rule of law, that's number 1. Second, education and scientific innovation. And third, the freedom of religion. Thank you for watching and listening. God bless.